Hello there, J Music here, and today I'll be giving my thoughts on Cobra Kai Season 4. As usual, there will be more spoilers in this review, so if you haven't watched the series and you don't want to be spoiled, click off the video and come back when you have watched it. But if you already watched it, or you just don't care about spoilers, feel free to continue on watching. So Season 4 of Cobra Kai picks off immediately after where Season 3 left off, with Daniel and Johnny just joining their dojos to take down Cobra Kai, and Chris bringing back an old friend to help him out. This season of Cobra Kai continues most of the traits that made the previous seasons great. The action in this season is probably the best we got in the entire series so far, especially those in the last two episodes, which are the tournament episodes. And it really props to the actors and actress for working hard to making those scenes look good. And throughout the action scenes, I didn't really notice like any stunt doubles. So most likely that they did a very good job hiding them, or the actors and actress did their own stunts, and really props to them. Aside from the action that is great, the humor in this season stays the same ways as always, treading the lines of when to have humor and when not to. And most of the humor did work for me, and I had a great time watching the interactions and banter between the characters. Of course, there are moments that should feel cheesy and it should feel like outward, but for some reason it just works so well with this show at this point. And that is what this show is kind of all about. It can feel over the top at times, but for a show like this, it's okay. As for the heart and emotions of this season surprised me on that aspect because I didn't expect this season to be as emotional as it is. And with all the build up and all the character arcs that were explored, that were seen, these emotional moments felt impactful and earned. And that really works for me. And there's just a lot of weight to the actor's performance in these scenes. So yeah, the emotional scenes really work well in this season. Of course, not to say that the previous season didn't have any emotional scenes. There was, but I feel that this season had a more impactful emotional scenes in them. Now, let's talk about the characters in this season. And it is interesting how this show easily manipulates me to feel for different characters this time around, and some which I didn't really sympathize with in the last few seasons. And one of the characters would be Tori, which in the previous season she seems like this over-the-top character with somewhat bland motivation, but in this season they really went through the family background and her struggles, and she is much more understandable in this season. And in the end, I found myself caring for this character, which is quite a turnaround, seeing that I didn't really care for her in the previous season. And another highlight character would be Robbie. His character arc really surprised me that he was given this much to do, and that his character arc isn't as black and white. And like most of the characters in this show, really, it just proves the point the show is making, that everything is not black and white, with a lot of things leaning into the gray area with the principles of the character and all. And the show also really did make me more emotionally invested into Robbie's character, as well as I mentioned up before with the emotion aspect of this season. Now, this season has a lot of good characters journey. We have Miguel, Robbie, Tori, Johnny, and but the one that really surprised me was Terry Silver. Now I didn't watch the Karate Kid movies, but I did watch some clips of him, and to me, in the movie that he appeared in, the Karate Kid 3, he was this over the top and kind of insane character. But in this show, they really managed to rationalize that aspect of his character and makes his action in that movie make sense while poking a bit of fun at it. And doing all that, the season also adds layers to this character. He is not as simple as he seemed in that movie. And out of all the characters in season 4, he was the one that surprised me the most, yeah, more than Robbie's character. Now, this season not only has to concentrate on its existing character, it also introduced new character and well, it balanced the characters' arcs really well. But in the middle of the season, it can feel too much with character arcs because there are just so many characters in the season that they are trying to focus on, and it can feel quite stretched out between the character arcs at times in the middle of the season. But when you get to the end of the season, it pays off. It really does. And the one of the best, the highlight of this entire season has definitely got to be the last two episodes of season 4, which are the tournament episodes. And it was satisfying, it was a blast of fun, and it felt earned. Of course, there's a lot of anticipation and thoughts and theories leading up to these two episodes because, quite frankly, the whole show has been building up to the tournament ever since season 1 ended. So I'm glad that they split it into two episodes actually because there's a lot of things they had to get through and putting it in one episode will not be enough. So I'm glad they did it in two episodes, and the way the season wrapped up was so earned and satisfying, really, and it was worth it. And there as well, there was a lot of surprises and twists one after another, and I was by the end of the last episode I was completely shocked, and I cannot wait for what comes next in season 5. Overall, Cobra Kai season 4 was a very enjoyable ride, and I am hyped for season 5 of Cobra Kai. Whenever it comes, I will be checking in for sure. Now, I'm sure that we might disagree because we are all different people after all. So, if you want to share your thoughts, feel free to do so in the comment section below. Stay safe and stay tuned.